welcome to my channel, Honorable Women Inc., where we like to share because we do care. I'm the Care Bear. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. My name is Lakeisha, and today I will be giving you very valuable tips and tricks so that you can bond with your teenager or your child closer in a much healthier way and be able to communicate with them much healthier. All right, let's cut to the chase, guys. 1 second, gotta fix my chair up. Okay, so I do have a teenager. I have a 14-year-old. I have three children, actually. A 14-year-old daughter. I have a 5-year-old son and a 1-year-old daughter. And with that being said, I know how difficult it can be at these different age ranges to bond with your child, especially teenagers. I hear all the time from people how they have trouble bonding with their teenagers. So I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks to help you bond with your teenager in a much healthier way and find out exactly what's going on with them as well. Okay, so the first thing is make sure that you talk to your child. And I know that's a given, but I don't mean talk to them in any way. I mean really talk to them. Set aside some time, whether that's 3 days out the week, even if you're a really busy parent, and just spend time with them. Maybe eat some popcorn. For us, we like to watch a movie when my other two are resting. We watch a movie and we eat popcorn and we talk about what's hurting her, what's not hurting her, if she's feeling happy, if she's feeling sad, you know, what's going on with her friends. Every possible thing that you could talk about, you name it, we talk about it. The second thing that's very important, make sure that you know who their friends are. Make sure that you're, spying. I hate to say this, but I'm giving you the 411 parents. Make sure you're spying, walking past the room. Like when she's on the phone, I'm walking past the room to hear what the nature of the conversation is. Make sure you're asking those questions to find out who is this friend. And just make sure that the friend is someone who is definitely within your range of community. And what I mean by that is, like, you want to make sure that they're not being friends with some stranger or some predator from Facebook, Instagram, that they have no clue who it is. You want to make sure that they're friends with maybe children or teens who are from school. And the reason why I say this is not that there's not dangerous things happening in the school, but it's a much better situation when it is at school. That way, if anything happens, you can just go right to the school and pick that child's, full name, and they will jump right on top of it, okay? The next thing is make sure that you invite your child's friends to your home versus allowing them to go to their home all the time. Okay, I have a point to this. I'm not saying everyone, because if you've already met the parents of your child's friends, if you've already spoke to the child who your child is friends with, and you already really trust the situation, then by all means allow your child to go. But I'm speaking about those new friends. I'm mainly talking about new friends that you really don't know anything about them and your child is friends with them. Invite them for dinner. Feel free to invite them for a meal. Feel free to play games with them, engage with them. Don't just leave your child out to be with this, other child by themselves. Make sure that you're participating so that you could get a feel for what's really going on with this child. All right. The next thing that you want to do, the next thing that you definitely want to do is after the child of your child's friend, or after your child's friend leaves, talk to your child once again. So they may ask you, like I had a recent situation where my daughter asked me, well, Mom, what do you think about my friend? So what I like to do, parents, is you flip it back on them. And this works so well. Okay. So you say, you know what? how about, what do you think about your friend? Like, you know, every question she asks me, I'll ask her the same exact question. And this is done so that you make your child think about whether or not this is actually a great fit for them as a friend. And it's a way to make them utilize their thinking skills, guys. I mean, what happens to the times when we used to actually read books? You know, we have all this social media now, but there used to be times when we read books. There was times where we used our brain power. So this way, you're making your child use their brain power, and you're definitely making them implement all of the things that you have hopefully taught them as a parent. The next thing is you want to ask questions that will make your child think. And if this friend is not the best friend, and it doesn't take me a minute before I can tell what kind of friend that my child is with, whether or not there's someone that I would choose for my child to be with, or whether or not I would prefer for them not to engage with. And one method for this is all you need to do is not overreact. I know it's super hard, parents, okay? I have plenty of friends that tell me that this is so hard for them because they will overreact. I've even been guilty of, you know, overreacting because you're like, what are you thinking? This person is not the one for you to be friends with. But that I've learned through my experience that is the worst thing you can do, because usually it pushes your child closer to the person, to the friend, and that's not what you want to do a lot of times. If you can tell that it's not a healthy friend or not a healthy friendship, then you want to ask those questions that'll make your child think. And if you're taught them all of the values that you have taught them, like I know that you have, then you can definitely turn the situation around. So one of the questions that I want you to ask your child is, have you met their parents? This is a big one. I asked my child this recently, and she discovered, wow, I haven't asked anything about their parents. I haven't met their parents. I don't know anything about their parents. And the reason why I suggest this is because, believe it or not, a lot of people are a product of their environment. Not everyone. I don't want to go around stereotyping people, but a lot of people are a product of their environment. And usually the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Got that from my grandmother, guys. That's an old saying. But what I mean is that you can pretty much tell a lot of times based on the parent how the child will be. Now, this won't work every single time, but this will work some of those times. So I definitely suggest that you try to use this strategy. Okay? So the next thing is you meet the parent. You meet the parent so that you can always do the second look. I believe in second looks. Even if your child tells you they have amazing parents, everything is wonderful, you make sure you meet the parents so that you can double check that the parents are who that, you know, your child or are saying that they are. So that's definitely a huge thing, okay? And I know it feels like a lot, guys, but honestly, it's important to take the necessary actions so that you can make sure that your child is safe and that they are healthy, okay? Mentally, spiritually, in every way possible. So this has really been working for me, okay? I often have sleepovers and I let, you know, friends come over here, but I really don't let my daughter go to anyone's house unless I know them very, very well, unless I know their parents very well, and I've been around the child at least multiple times. And that's just me as a parent, because as you know, I was a victim of human sex trafficking, and I'm just trying to protect my children any means necessary. So if you want to protect your children and make sure that they are safe, I definitely recommend listening to some of these. Even if you don't want to implement every single thing that I'm saying, definitely apply one or two of these strategies. Everyone has different ways of parenting. So I could definitely understand if maybe you're like, I don't like this, but then I like this. But based on most of the people I talk to, they just want to implement anything because their teenagers are just going ballistic, and they're like, listen, can you just help me with anything? So yeah, that is a big one. So make sure you're asking those questions that really make your child think about whether or not they should be this person's friend based on what you have taught them. The next thing is, it's important to take a step back. I know that as parents, we want to be all up in our child's face. I know I do. Want to be all up in everything. But you have to learn to take a step back and trust that knowledge that you've given your child. And I know that you have. Trust that knowledge that you've given them to make it in this world, whether you're with them or not. And they learn and they have that. And especially if you try to be an example, no one is perfect, not even me. But if you try to be an example for your child and you try to teach them certain strategies, then it definitely helps them. And they definitely catch on to it. And that's the time when you can pat yourself on the back as a parent. Like, you know what? I got this. Another thing, definitely pray. If you believe in a higher power, as I definitely do, make sure that you pray. I pray to God. I like to pray. And oftentimes I have met a friend that I really did not like for my child. You know, it doesn't mean that the child is a bad person. I just didn't like them for my child. I didn't say a word. I just prayed about it. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, this friend was transferring to another school. So that definitely works. Prayer changes things, guys. Like, I have to just keep reiterating that in my videos. The next thing is just make sure that your child is not filling the void from the parent. Like, you got to make sure you're spending enough time with them. You're talking to them. You're apologizing to them over and over and over again. I apologize to my child at least once or twice a week. And I'm not even kidding. And the reason why is because I don't want her harboring anything in her heart. And we're not always super perfect as parents. Only thing we can do is try to do the best that we absolutely can. So if you're a parent watching this and maybe your child was snatched from DCFS, or maybe you just got your child back, you know, who knows what the situation is, just know that there's always hope. As long as you wake up each day, there is hope to become a better parent. And I am so proud of you. The fact that you even are tuning into this video shows the level of growth and maturity in you as a parent. So give yourself a hand clap. All right. So yes, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could give you in this time frame that would help you become a better parent, or bond better with your child. And this will work for any age range, but let me know in the comments below if you want me to give specific age ranges, because I have all three. I have a 14-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. I can tell you anything about anything when it has to do with a child. And I was also a preschool teacher at a daycare for a few years, so I do definitely have experience with children. In fact, that is my baby right there in the background. So please excuse that, guys. Might have to cut this video short. But yeah, I just want to give you the best possible advice. But these methods should work no matter how old your child is. Tongue twisted, guys. Little tongue twisted there. Make sure you give your child love. A lot of love. That's something that is lacking so much in the homes. Make sure you're hugging your child. Make sure you're telling them that you love them daily, and just making sure that they feel happy, that they feel special. Point out that one thing that they did that you really loved, just to let them know that they're special. Make sure you're treating your children equally, no matter how many children you have. That's a big one, because if you don't, they definitely can tell. Also, another little piece of advice would be to make sure, and this one is big as well, make sure that you set out special time for all of your children. If you have more than one child, make sure that you spend time bonding with each one separately. That's very important because they are all unique and different. And they all have their personalities. They all have their likes and dislikes. And it's really important for you to bond with them on a separate level and not just always having all of the children together. Sometimes that's fine, but you need to make sure that you can also bond with them separately as well. So that you're making sure that you're getting that time in that mommy, you know, or that dad time in with your child, and just letting them know, hey, I love you. You know, I'm rocking with you. I'm rooting for you. You are my everything. And each one of my kids know, like, I love them more than anything. So yeah, that's very important as well. And, you know, it took me some time to get to this point. I wasn't always, you know, this type of parent, but a little practice, work, prayer, like it does amazing things. And I'm still striving to be the best parent that I possibly can be. So let me know if you want to see more videos about parenting and how you can bond or build a stronger bond with your children, whether that be your teen, your baby, whomever, however. I'm here to assist you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Love you, love you, love you. And what do we do at the end of all of these videos? We want to give you a big Care Bear hug. Don't forget to visit honorablewomeninc.org. If you know someone who's a victim of human sex trafficking or domestic violence, we help those who are victims. If you know a troubled teen, we will help them as well. So make sure you check out that website. Okay, bye. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.